Hey, what's up, guys? I think a lot of stuff over my life, and I never really used to document anything. Maybe I should have. I didn't realize just how valuable all the information I come up with is. I always just figure if I thought of something, everyone else already thought of it. But this video is going to be about how to fix constipation naturally, free, and fast without the use of tools or anything. It, it's readily available. Okay, so here you have. I looked this up, and I couldn't find anything on it, so I don't think this has like been talked about before or discovered before. And the first thing that really makes me think that is it's called the intergluteal cleft. Right? You have that green line right there going down. Now the part I'm going to be referring to is going to be like the last inch of that before your anus, before your hole. It's commonly referred to as the butt crack. Uh, and I find there's not like a different definition for this area I'm talking about. It's just all the cleft. It's all the crack. But like the last 2 inches before you get to the hole, there's like a soft area that you can like press on and stuff, right? And if you have problems with constipation, you can't get that waste out of your body because it's like clumped up and hard. For whatever reason, common reasons I've noticed in my testing of different diets have been, in fact, this is really the only time I've ever experienced it, is when I decided to go on like cheese and bread diets. It's cheap, right? It's cheap. Even on pasta diets, I never experienced anything like that. Even on rice diets, I never experienced anything like that. But cheese and bread, if I just eat that, is like 3,000 calories worth of bread a day, I'll experience some issues. Now, when you have this issue, you want to make sure you remain clean and all that. But if you press on that area, you can break up the waste that is there. And in my experience, the problem is that waste is built up there and it's too large. And when you force it out, it's going to be painful for a few days and you're going to bleed everywhere. And so a lot of people, I think, they just don't do that. And they're like, oh, I'm constipated. And maybe there are people out there like me who are just like, oh, well, you got to push it through. And then you rip yourself open, bleed everywhere. And then the next few days of using the bathroom hurt. Not only hurt, but that area could get infected because you got the open wounds and the fecal matter there that is obviously going to pass and rest in those wounds. But all you got to do is you got to reach back there and you got to like push up into it, like with a finger. I mean, if you got nails and stuff, it might not be the best idea to use a nail, use a knuckle and stuff. But all you got to do is like push it and like break it apart. You don't have to get your finger dirty at all, because that area is not where the waste is at unless unless something's went wrong, right? You can do it without getting dirty at all, but maybe your first few times learning to do this, it won't happen. I know when I would experience this stuff before, I definitely tried some crazy things that were extremely messy to fix it. But I mean, I was trying to figure out how to like remove this waste from my body because it has to be removed. I don't know what happens if you let it build up. I've never let that happen. But I can tell you, just forcing it out is going to cause a lot of problems, blood everywhere. And you actually don't bleed as much as you think you would for just ripping yourself open. But if you press up into that area, that last 2 inches, you can press on it at any time and you'll feel up. There's like a couple inches before you hit a bone. And that soft area is what you're looking for. It's like down here. And if you're having problems evacuating waste from your bum, then like press up in that area and break it up. And it works. Trust me, this works. Like, I'll never have a problem with this again, as far as I know. And nothing really is a problem. Although the bread and cheese diet, I have failed to return to yet. So I do have the bagels and cream cheese over here. So, but the bread and cheese all day, every day diet, it kind of turned me off because it's the only time I've experienced constipation. But this is like free. It's natural. It's obviously like part of the design, how it works. On top of that, too, like kind of related, kind of not. You can control your inner muscles. Like this is the back side, but your front side. You know, if we had a front side, I could point out the intestines and all that stuff. And you can control. And if you like take your abs and like flex your abs, slowly like flex them down, like wave them, you can control that, and you can make the system work faster when you need it to, or work when you need it to. Now that's like an involuntary action. Like the intestines are always working, but that's how the intestines work. It's like this open hole, and it slowly like squeezes stuff through like long lengths of intestines, and it does that simply by, I'm sure, without looking it up, it does that simply by like slowly squeezing and pushing it through, and then it uses air. The air, I believe, the gas, I'm assuming the gas is there because it dries out the intestinal walls and allows things to move through it. And it probably helps with a little bit of force too, to like, you know, help things move through your intestines. But I believe everything seems to have a secondary role. But I would think the major role of gas is to like dry out the intestinal walls, and possibly that could be why it seems like if you're having like diarrhea, that you might have a lot of gas with that too, because it's trying to, you know, keep the walls dry so it can like push stuff out and move it through slowly. At the same time, gas is probably also providing pressure to push it through. But yeah, it's that simple. You don't need to buy anything. In my experience, you don't need to buy anything. You don't need to carry around anything in your pocket or your purse. It's natural. It's just right there. It's ready for use. It's like part of the design of the human body, obviously. I mean, try it out if you ever have to. Hopefully you never have to, right? But for those who do have to try that out, try it out. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. If it doesn't work for someone, definitely tell me in the comments. But I'm pretty sure this is how it works. And this is part of the natural design of the human body. And in fact, the simple fact that there's that bone and then that soft area, and then it works, tells me that this was part of the creation, whereas it actually does work like that. Because like, why did God create constipation? It's like, well, you know, why did they create a natural, fast, provable method that will break up? I want to be myself, but this is for like everyone, right? They'll break up that waste product and get it out of you. Trust me, works for me. And I don't know, maybe it won't work for anyone else, but it works for me. And I'm pretty sure this is the answer. This is the natural answer to it. Like this is one of the things I ask a lot of God is, you know, if this exists, why does this exist? And if you've created this, or you knew this was in the creation, then clearly everything I'm seeing, you've created an answer for as well. And what are these answers? And this is a lot easier than trying to use a small spoon to break up that stuff. Because I mean, even sometimes if you want to rip yourself apart, I'm not sure if that's the real answer. If you can actually get some stuff through that, I mean, you'd really have to rip yourself open at some point. But interesting little science thing, and I got tons of other science stuff. But I've never seen this before, and it seems to be a natural part of the design, so I'm sure that's how it's made. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good day.